What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 21 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Grimgor Ironhide campaign. So as we saw last time, Grum and Nobber, I kind of joined their names together there, destroyed a massive force of the Barrow Legion undead outside of Castle Drakenfels, and it looks like severely weakened this faction. Kemmler's done, his main armies are done, and I expect that his faction will fall within the next few turns, most likely. In addition to that, we had Oglock the Boreable now, destroy an army belonging to the Blessed Dread, and certainly showed the superiority of the various WAAAGHs, and hopefully we'll get a battle with Lokir Fellheart himself in reasonably short order. As for this episode, we are going to look towards moving towards the halls of Anaereth here and destroying this little wood elf faction before possibly looping back around to Durthu, or possibly going south and taking these guys out first. It depends. I would like to get a few other armies into fighting the wood elves here, but they're all rather far away, and I feel like Grimgor might just take care of every wood elf faction before they get here, but I guess we'll see. Now, let's see what we've got to do this turn. I did take care of the buildings between the episodes, so we don't have that, and we, by and large, might be ready to end the turn. However, let's see. We need to be able to declare war on you, but you're currently allied with Modron. If we were to attack you, Modron would attack us, and we don't have an army to deal with them. Meaning, what we need to do is ask either the Ghosts of Glan Boreal, I guess we'll ask them, to join war against you, and we need to do this before we declare a war on the Ghost of Glan Boreal. Alright, let's do that. And we'll join war against the Anmir. And yeah, just give us your money, we don't care, we're gonna kill you in like 5 seconds anyway. Alright, then, I guess, you know what, then I guess, Grimgor, do you need to stay in ambush stance? If this fails, then what might happen is these guys would move out here, and if we don't intercept them, you know what, no, we're going to switch to Raiden Camp, we're going to move here, and we're going to threaten them directly. I think that this guy, if he can reach Valzandal, we'd still have to wait a turn to get there with Grimgor anyway, so it won't make much of a difference. So that ambush, probably not super, whatever the opposite of pointless is. And then, we want to declare war on the Ghost of Glan Boreal, but if we were to do so, the Ramateb dynasty would join war against us. What we actually want to happen is for the Ramateb dynasty to start fighting Clan Scryer beside us, and possibly any of our other allies, while we fought the Ghost of Glan Boreal, which means we need to do it the other way around. So we need to have the Ramateb dynasty, we need to declare war against you, and then in your pitiful eyes, that will draw Scryer and Pestilence and all of these guys into the fight. Hopefully they don't join. That will allow us to fight the Ghost of Glan Boreal, but it will not force our allies to fight them and take their territory. Yes, that's the way to do it. And okay, wow. Well, there goes that plan. I thought I was being so clever. Okay, fine. Fine, that didn't work at all because these guys actually refused to join the fight. Okay, you know what, we're gonna wait a turn then. Well, we might declare war. Well, we still need to declare war on them, but I think we'll do it next turn. You're gonna go here. You two, stay together. In Summers Hall Fort, though. Summers Fall, whatever. And stay near each other. Keep on raiding. Decent likelihood that these guys go up here towards Foul Peak, but most likely they'll go to Ebino. I think we'll declare war on Anaereth as well, and maybe draw these guys into it, but I think we'll wait for next turn. Let's do a few other things, though. Grimgor, you can't attack, so we'll wait until next turn with you. Spite Blood Reaper, we can ignore you for now. Ugh the Recruiter, though. There's a few things I want to do for you. First of all, we're going to change Ugh the Recruiter to Ugh the... if I can just... Boy Snatcher, there we go. And we're gonna start recruiting. Since nobody seems to like the Orc Error Boys, I'm gonna be a little bit of a contrarian here and build lots and lots of Error Boys. 4 regular, 4 savage. Let's do, I don't know, 5 Doom Divers. That'll leave us room for 4 more units of Allegiance, so rats, ranged rats, to help out the range in this army, and then leave room for 2 more Ragnaroks. Most likely we won't be able to have access to enough rats to make this work quite quickly enough, so we could slowly replace spiders, for example, with the Giselles, or possibly get more Savage Orc Airboys. I'll think about it. Either way, that's the way we're going to do it. Then I guess you can keep recruiting as you are for now. It'll take a few turns. I would also like... Wait, did you move this turn? You did. I would also like to recruit a seagoing army, just to send one to sea. And, oh, you know what? While we're here, actually, since we named one recruiter, we may as well name the other. Kruga Beard Taker, you can be... Kruga de Wakala. There we go. Very nice. Now we have 2 Orky recruiting names. As I was saying, we need to be able to build a Gobbo army, but we don't have a Goblin building nearby. We do have one here, a Black Orc barracks. But we can't get the Fanatics yet. Okay, so that won't quite work. I guess we could actually build them here first, and then allow UG to build the range units after. And we could do that. Alright, fine. Let's build a Gobbo army first. And then this one second. Because the C1 can just, you know, do C stuff. And let's go Fanatics like so. Let's give them some... I can give them some nasty Skulkers. You know, let's go 5 Night Goblin Fanatics. Let's go 4 nasty Skulkers. Let's go Fanatic Archers. And let's give them... We'll put some squigs in here just for fun. I mean, we're just going to put this army out to sea, so it won't really matter what we do, but yeah. And let's give him a Night Goblin War Boss. You've already recruited a Lord in this province. Oh, there's a Shroom Grower. I don't remember recruiting a Lord in this province, but I might have done something between the episodes that... Oh, I think I recruited one of the... Oh, right. I recruited Mugga the Leech, and then I deleted him, or rather, specifically, I reset his points because they weren't working. Since he's level 11, I figured it'd be better to use one that has a little bit more levels this late into the game. Anyway, I believe that's all we got for this particular turn, unless I'm mistaken. Varag Legbiter, you're going to take the squigs, and everybody else is good. Which means we're ready to end the turn, and hopefully get a big old battle against some more Wood Elves. Alright. These are always very fun, watching all those arrows, well, not quite be useless against the Black Orcs, but... still, weathering the storm. Lord not moved, low fightiness on Kruga, we don't care, unassigned skill points, building upgrades, and that'll be that. So, let's see if they attack Grimgor. End turn. Alright, while the turn is ending, it looks like we will fall just short of the threshold in terms of likes from the last episode, but we did... don't join that war. We did go over, a fair bit over, in terms of comments, and I guess the comments compensate for the likes. At the very least, that's good enough for me. So yeah, hour-long episode for this one as well, and the offer does still stand. 250 likes, and auto-resolve this as well. And 40 comments, and the next episode will still be an hour long. This has been a roller coaster of emotions. Roller corkster of... No, that didn't work. That didn't work. I didn't say anything. Nobody heard anything. Okay. Ooh, hello. Tormentor Sword for Rogue Idol Fairy. You don't need that, but I do like that. Combat Focus, recruit cost reduction for melee infantry units, more choppers. Buildings damaged in Castle Aquitaine, but we can repair that easy enough. And also build something here. You know what? Start with the Gobbo tents, get that construction and that research cost reduction. Alright. How are we looking here? So, it does appear that the Ramateb dynasty did take a Beano from the Skaven, and will probably be able to take Miragliano, though I imagine that they will react to all of this. What we want to then do is, first of all, declare war on... No, not declare war on... Okay, wait. Eshin, you were at war with these guys, but apparently you peaced out. Huh. Okay, maybe we can be friendly with Eshin then. Get more Skaven units. I don't mind that at all. Let's instead then declare war on Aranus Assault Spite and call our allies. Alright, that works. Then, we want specifically who's here, Wulfric. So we want Wulfric to potentially join war here. We do have money to pay him off, and... oh, in fact, it doesn't cost that much. I mean, 14k is still quite a bit, but we can do that. Alright, doing a little bit of Orky diplomacy today, which is just causing havoc among all of our allies and forcing them all to fight. Could we get you to fight Aranessa as well? I have no intention of taking... oh, you were already an ally, okay. I have no intention of actually taking Aranessa's territory, as we're going to limit the amount of any additional territories we take. Now, Snitch, if you could join the war against Aranessa... oh, wow, you're willing. Okay, good. In fact, it looks like we can join more stuff against Ramatib Dynasty. How about against Blessed Dread? For 6k? Yeah, I can do that. Barrow Legion? It's not much more. What about Reichland? 3.1... 11k. If we get them all fighting the same factions, we'll be friendly. I think it'll be worth our time, so let's give them the money. Our money is pretty good right now, and hopefully this will keep him friendly with us, friendly with the other rats, looks like reasonably friendly with Wulfric. How does he feel about the guys that he was just at war with? He's okay. Alright. Alright, that seems to have worked out. Then we need to declare war against the Ghosts of Glan Boreal, which we will be attacking with all of these guys, but not ask our allies to join. Oh! Clan Pestilence is trading with them. Well, it's unfortunate. Initiate diplomacy. Break trade agreement. Defensive alliance, military access, non-aggression pact. Huh? I thought you were in a trade agreement. Whoa, am I mistaken about this? Wait. A moment. Yeah, they do have a trade agreement. We're not able to get you to break the trade agreement? Why? I thought that was an option. Break military, break defensive, break military, break non-aggression pact. Sylvania. We may actually have to force them to break that with Sylvania as well. Okay, well, apparently we can't do that. Force them to break the trade agreement, I mean, so I guess we're just gonna straight up declare war on them. Alright, declare war, don't call your allies to help, because we don't want them stealing the territory. Alright, good. Hopefully that was right. Now, what I want to see, based off of that, was this. Did that reduce the cost of Clan Scryer units? Not much, still 43 for a single Warplock Giselle. It's a little bit steep. But I don't think there's anybody else we can declare war on that's near to Clan Scryer that would have... oh. With the Ghost of Glan Boreal, how much would this cost? Oh, wow, you wouldn't do it for 156,000 gold? Okay, well, that's not gonna work then. Okay, well, it looks like we can't really reduce the costs of that, unfortunately, but what can you do? We will overcome. In the meantime, Grimgor, you are going to overcome some arrows, so WAAAGH begins for you, and I guess we'll head out into another field battle, mostly because they're more fun, as in more challenging, it seems, than the settlement battles. Especially since we cannot use Grots like Git Stomp to absolutely wreck the enemy once they're behind those walls when they're all spread out. Anyway, Pyrrhic victory for us. The last one of these was reasonably tough, and I expect a reasonably tough fight here as well. Away we go. Alrighty, hope you guys aren't growing tired of these battles with Grimgor facing off against all of those Wood Elves, as by and large this is likely to be the only faction that's really likely to challenge his army. Anyway, nice shot from the from Debiggen. It's not going to do any damage really whatsoever to that Shriekin, but it was entertaining watching it knock it off its feet. Here comes another shot's gonna sail over the Treekin this time and smash right into all of those Glade Garden Dryads. Very nice, very nice. That one should have done damage. 34 kills and 5.6k. Not too bad at all. This thing can function as a nice artillery piece after all. It's got lots of range and it does do damage. If there wasn't another army or two more armies coming in, we probably could have bombarded the enemy for quite a while and done some decent damage. It also... Are they not dodging those shots? I wonder. These shots from the big one, does it actually have does the AI actually count them as artillery or not, is a question. Anyway, a brain burst comes in as it's a little bit too early to drop a foot of Gork, but not to worry. I'm sure Grotzlik is just itching at the idea. Now, we have done effectively the same battle before, or at the very least, we've done it on this map. I don't remember if it was against one or two. I think it was against one other army, so one enemy reinforcement army coming in here, but now we got two. But at that time, the enemies came in here, and this time over on this side. So we're going to play it a little bit differently. We've deployed four of our Black Orcs with their great weapons here in this little copse of trees, and we are going to wait until the armies arrive and hit them in the back with those Black Orcs. And the other Black Orcs, the shielded ones, are the ones that ran up the hill, and they're the ones that are going to take most of the enemy arrow fire. So hopefully that'll work out. Anyway, here come the Black Orcs making their way into the pile of enemies, and the Dryads in particular. The Immortals and the Crimson Killers are being targeted by the looks of it, and by whatever enemy range units can reach them. Smart of the AI, and ooh, there's that foot of Gork coming down, clearing the way of Dryads so Grimgor and the Giants and the war bosses, or Black Orc big bosses, can start hacking away at that tree man. Bring it down, don't let it do damage, though Grotzlik has already done a massive amount with that foot. Anyway, the rogue idols are running around relatively unharmed so far, and it looks like the enemy reinforcements are making it in. Now it's just a matter of trying to get to the enemy Glade Guard before they do too much damage to us, and hopefully kill off a decent amount of them before the second and third armies arrive. We will be distracted for a while. Ooh, an arrow of Kurnos comes down. Looks like it kills off a few of our shielded Black Orcs, and it looks like a couple of the enemy Glade Guard that have managed to peel away are hitting these guys in the back, so those shields won't be all that effective against those particular units. But that's another reason why it is annoying to be facing off against these wood elves with our very slow, or relatively slow army. If we can acquire more speed via any means, we will attempt to do so. And it may be a reason to later declare war on Vlad if he remains in... Ooh, nice belly flop. If he remains in a high relative strength rank to everybody else. Anyway, Grimgor moves forward, gets a few hits in on the enemy Glade Lord, who's going to book it on out of there, but of course, Grimgor is far too slow to chase. A few Dryads will be blocking him off, but, well, he'll bring him down a few at a time and wait until an enemy Lord or hero draws close enough. There's really nothing in the enemy army that's liable to hurt him all that much, so that'll be fine. Alright, some enemy Treekin down here. The Giants should be pretty good at ganging up on them, and frankly the Rogue Idols as well. And the green glow of the Treeman and Treekin, or the Treekin in this particular case, actually nearly matches that of the... and that of the big one, though the green glow, our green glow is a little bit different. I think these guys would match a warpstone glow a little bit better. Well, either way, they won't be matching anything all that much soon, because both of those units of Treekin are pretty much down. The enemy armies have arrived, and there are now 40 units on the field, as no more reinforcements are moving in, and thus our own reinforcements have decided to reveal themselves, head towards those enemies, and hit them in the back, and hopefully run them down. We have a few of our other units completely distracted, running after those enemy Glade Guard in the hopes of preventing them from rallying. Or at the very least to prevent them from firing, though once again, the LV units being faster than us is the biggest issue. Alright, and in the meantime, the rest of our units will march forward. Rogue Idol and whatever Black Orcs are going to head towards the reinforcements, although it looks like the Beggin's down by about a third of its HP and lots of arrows smashing into it. Dryads have been impressing me in this particular campaign as they've been able to hold back those Black Orcs for a significantly longer period of time than I would have thought, and block them off long enough for the enemy range units to do damage. Here come the other Black Orcs. Though the enemy has been blocking us off, we have been fighting only with half, well, a little bit more actually, but of the Black Orcs that we have available to us. Now these particular trees will be ours, and either the units will have to run towards our other army or get ripped apart by these big old axes. One of our units did stay behind here, the Axes of the Dark, who managed to destroy a unit of Eternal Guard here, and will probably be turning to destroy a few more. This is a pretty horrifically bad matchup for the Eternal Guard here, as these great weapons will hack them apart with very decent ease, and the area attack's going to come in handy as well, as the Black Orcs are relatively big models, and even though they're not technically large units, they... oh, are they? No, small entities, okay. For a second I thought, but yeah, they're not quite as big as trolls, but they do have area attacks. And a lot more of the Elven units are able to stand closer together, so hopefully our area attacks will come in handy. Now these guys might be isolated and they might be fighting multiple enemy units, but they're just ripping through them. 1, 2, 3 units of Eternal Guard have basically destroyed a unit of Deepwood Scouts, has nearly fallen, and more enemy units are moving onto the field and hopefully will do the same to them. And the army has by and large separated itself, but there are 2 skirmishes going on. I see a foot of Gork coming down, and 4 more enemy units absolutely destroyed. Very nice. The Bat Swadas and our 2 Black Orc big bosses kept the enemy in place, and in particular those Wildwood Rangers needed a foot to come down upon them. Slaneshi giggle, and and destroy them. Now, balance of power has shifted to about 70% in our favor now, so it's definitely going in our favor. Grimgor, I believe, is still trying to chase down enemy lords and heroes. I think he managed to chase another hero off the map, but that damn enemy Spellweaver of Life is still around. It looks like the Deepwood Scouts are done fighting the Axes of the Dark, who will now have to switch to fighting Shuriken as well. They're really doing a great job. They don't have any of those giants or rogue idols or heroes or lords buffing them up, unlike everybody else does. I get to the choppers in the center of the field, have 509 kills, very nice, and are moving forward. I guess to get to the choppers, we're here fighting the, like, 1,000 dryads that they were fighting, so yeah, working their way through them. Oh, and it looks like the Crimson Killers over on the side have managed to find themselves a unit of Glade Guard who had nowhere else to run. A giant and rogue idol chasing them from one direction, and the hag as well. And it looks like the Dryads will break, and, oh, in fact, everybody else will break as well. Very nice. Very, very nice. So I think we took command of this particular battlefield a little bit better than we did last time when the enemy came in as a reinforcement from here. I think that the Black Orcs being hidden here was the right move in order to counterbalance our inability to move particularly quickly. Might have even been better to put like 2 here and then 2 somewhere here to get around this army. I'll think about it for the next battle and adjust as needed, but it worked reasonably well. Anyway. Alright, not bad. In fact, if anything, the Black Orcs this time around survived a little scathed, which I'm pretty darn happy with. The MVP for this particular battle goes to, I guess, the Get to the Choppas again. 526 kills and 71k damage. This unit seems blessed in this particular campaign, and the second MVP was the Axes of the Dark. Nearly 300 kills and 53k 30k, and I'd say the MVP to the battle goes to this unit in general for being by themselves and holding off a bunch of enemies, completely unsupported, and still racking up a ton of damage. Add to that, it looks like the giants actually outkilled the rogue idols here, in fact. 32k on the orc warbelly drum. That's quite impressive, and on top of that, the Giants' missile resistance is so massive, I think it's like 90% at this point, that it looks like they actually take considerably less damage despite their relative lack of armor than the Rogue Idols do, which is funny because the auto-resolve keeps bullying the Giants and not the Rogue Idols. Interesting. Anyway, we're gonna eat those captives. Wait, how much? Yeah, 100k damage on Grotzlig Gitstompa. Plenty of those feet of Gork. He just really likes feet. Anyway, eat captives, please. Alright, and we should be able to auto-resolve the remnants of this, which is, I'm sure, going to hurt our poor giants, but, well, what can you do at this point? There's not that much left of you, either. Oh, actually, I wonder if we could sack the plate. Do we even need to? I mean, it's a lot of money on the one hand. On the other hand, I'm not sure that we even want to bother. But it might allow us to move towards this guy, destroy him, and then destroy the faction. Forget. Alright, fine. You know what? We're gonna sack it. I hope this doesn't screw us over. Auto-resolve. Alright, the giants got a little bit hurt. We're going to sack the place. It's still 30k, putting us back up to over 200k. Then... did that turn out to be pointless? We can reach this guy, but then we won't be able to retake this, which would mean we'd have to refight it, so yeah, it turned out to be pointless. So well, it didn't quite work the way I wanted to, but we still take the place at tier 4, so not a huge deal. We are also going to stand outside it in raiding stance, which will apparently heal us a little bit less, but this guy will most likely attack us, and I'd rather not get damaged because of it. Anyway, bosses tend to immediately for you. And idols immediately for you as well, and raid and stashes, and then the other things are going to be the various tower types. These two first, then the other two afterwards. Well done, Grimgor. We also don't need to collect the income here, and we'll immediately go into Give It Ear so that these things get built just a little bit faster. With that, was it 20 or 40%? 40% construction time. Honestly, considering how much yellow and red territories there are for orcs and for Grimgor in general, he doesn't have the best start in terms of territories. He has like nothing other than Norska that's green for him. And I wish he had some kind of tech that would reduce the times even further, but oh well. I was about to say we will overcome, but we are already clearly overcoming, so yeah. Alrighty, now who still needs to move this turn? I guess it's everybody. Let's start with Ruglash Rotgut, and Lokir Feldhart. Well. Now the question is, can we reach you? And the answer is apparently no. But I guess we should be able to reach you next turn, so we'll hit up the Oseberg. It's like an iceberg, but it's a noseberg. But whoa, what the heck? 56k sack value. Why do you have so much more than Grimgor? Oh, it's a tier 5. Oh, I didn't even realize. We might as well just take it at tier 5 then, and not sack it. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty insane sack value, but yeah, we're gonna take it, I think. I'm a little bit concerned about Lokir getting to us, and... Actually, I think he might not be able to reach us. I'm not 100% on it, but we'll see. Anyway, I guess we're just gonna auto-resolve this, because obviously this isn't really worth fighting. I mean, we could. I do have some Cold One Dread Knights, a Black Dragon, a War Hydra. Might be fun. And they're a little bit more elite than the enemy here. Alright, and then Lokir's army, but obviously... Don't underestimate Lokir's Blackheart Corsairs, are pretty insane. I know, I'll think about it. Let's move everybody else around. We'll see what other battles we have accessible to us, and then we'll make our decision based off of that one. Varag Legbiter. Ooh, wait, do we have? Yes, we do. More Colossal Squid capacity. Alright, we got 4. Then you're the new Torturer, eh? You're gonna get into this army. We have space for one more gobbo, and then a bunch more of these squig hoppers. So, first of all, Goblin Big Boss, we got a cunning one. Wait, do the Goblin Big Bosses get Skarsnik's Death Juice now? They have regular poison, so it won't matter. Cunning is then quite pointless on them, because it'll overwrite any poisons that they get. Meaning we shouldn't bother with you, because you're useless. In fact, you're so useless that I'm going to delete you, just to mill through you. Alright, and maybe we'll get one of these guys to join him, but in the meantime... Ooh, we can recruit these guys at rank 7. Very nice. Night Goblin Squig Hoppers. The Squig Herds have a little bit more armor, but the thing is, they don't benefit from all the buffs, so they're basically the same unit, just slightly worse. They get a little bit more armor, but I believe these squigs, as we check the squigs on Vicious Despicable down south, and these squig hoppers are able to upgrade their armor, so yeah, we'll do that. 19, that's a lot of squig... Ooh, no, wait, -1, because we gotta get Durkit squig hoppers in here. And then if we can acquire some armored squig hoppers, we'll get them in there as well. I really wish it wasn't so hard to acquire these things. Man... Once per WAAAGH is a little bit insane, or at least it should be more than 1 unit per acquisition, right? I would hope so, or think so. But anyway, you guys stay here. You two... I was gonna have you join another army, or possibly this army, but possibly another army. I guess we could use Frenzy instead of Torture, but anyway, that'll be later. You, Ugh, keep building your Gobbo army. You now have the Nasty Skulkers, a bunch of Night Goblin Fanatics, and we will need you to get your Night Goblin War Boss, which is gonna be you, sir, Jenkins. Jenkins? What? Why are your name... Why is his name Jenkins? Okay, that's great. Maybe it's like a... maybe it's like a reference to somebody, like another modder or YouTuber, or somebody on the SFO team. I don't know. Jenkins. I don't know. I just didn't really expect the Jenkins for just a random orc or a random gobbo here, I guess. And not really using the moon howlers anywhere. Should we put them in this army? Yeah, but we're gonna just send it out to sea, so there's no real need. I was gonna put some squigs in here, but they'll have to go in here. Oh, I think this is actually basically rounds out the army. Let's get you a couple of Doom Divers, putting you up to 16. Although I guess if this entire army is hidden, we don't really need the artillery, or maybe we do. Alright, 2 Doom Divers. Good enough. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. If we want to get like 2 to 4 squig hoppers, there actually wouldn't be enough space for them, would there? At least if we want to put some gobbos in here. Well, let's just do that for now, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Well, let's continue. We got more battles to fight, and plenty of them. Rotgut, you go here. You won't be able to join Oglock. Nash, Gosbag, you can be ignored. Skarsnik Finder, guess where you're going? You're gonna find us a Skarsnik. Tech Thief. Oh, right, I was gonna rename some of the Tech Thieves. First of all, you. I don't like you. You have failed far too many times. Gobledna the Failure. And that's not going to work. The Failure, based on somebody's suggestion, though spelled slightly differently, but just as a reference to the Boris campaign. Then you can be Tech Thief. Tech Thief, Tech Thief. And I swear I had at least one more somewhere out here. Yeah, you. You can be... We got Big Thinkin' Steela, so you can be Small Thinkin'. Steela's not gonna fit, is it? Oh, damn you, character limit. Alright. There we go. Alright. And you know what? We might as well move you all out. You're going to the Empire to steal stuff, and, well, you know what? Let's keep these two together. So you're gonna go steal from Draika. And then you two will continue stealing from the Empire as you do. Ooh, 46%. I don't like that. It's 46% in both places, though. I felt like we should move them some. Hey, success for you, and another failure for Gobledna. Why? Dude, stop it. It's unbelievable. He's failed at least 6 times in a row. It's insanity. Steel Tech. Alright. He'll do it once upon a time. Anybody else need to move? Well, I'm sure there are. Okay, Vicious and Co. Yeah, I wanted you two to fight all this, and I think we'll do that battle first, because I think it'll be a good one. Griebitz, you've got places to be as well, sir. You're moving up to Norska to help the other army. And I'll resolve a few things. Let's get Fel Cargo, because you won't be able to reach the place anyway with any buffs, so let's keep you moving. And let's also go for Quell Animosity. Another island to pick up on the way, and then we should be able to get to Norska within the next few turns. Ooh, more islands out here. I don't know, depending on how well the pig army is doing, we might have you grab those islands just because, you know, they're super close to you. It's a minor enough detour, I think, to make it worth our time. Grom and... oh... Kemmler's back. Which one of you two did not get the Kemmler defeat trait? Hammer and Anvil, Witchfinder General is Fey Enchantress. One of you did get the defeat trait, right? What do you have? Scourge of Mankind? Lich Killer, there it is. Which means, Garami, we're gonna have you do it. Kem is outside the settlement. Alright, I guess we're gonna have Grom move to the settlement. I wonder if he can do it in WAAAGH, or in WAAAGH Begins? Not quite. Okay, well then. Fine, game, fine. And we'll allow Kemmler to come in as a reinforcement and destroy the garrison army first. And then if he runs and survives, we're gonna have to send Nauber after him. We're probably gonna fight this. It is Kemmler's last stand, most likely. Somebody did suggest we actually keep Kemmler alive so that we could get Grimgor the kill, but the thing is, I'm not sure Grimgor wants to go all the way up here. He's got a lot of things to do. He's got Durthu to fight and a lot of other things on the way. Not a big enough deal, though I would like that spell resistance on his army. Not as much as I would like Eltharian's buff, but Eltharian's not on the map. More missile resistance for everybody. Anyway, Gorkill, you are going to go into ambush stance. You can go right out here outside Bokill. And we can see if we can grab Otto Allenstag before we take Commandum. We don't actually want it, we'll just trade it to Festus, but, yeah. Probably raise it, actually. If he wants to occupy it, he's free to do so. Otherwise, we'll keep it Ruins. We might take these territories just to try to link up with Azag so that, A, we could trade him nearby territories, hopefully for some war declarations to make him weak to thereby declare war. But otherwise, I don't want any new territory. Nauber, you're going to move after we've figured out the fight. And Arachnic, you have places to be as well. 15 more turns of the WAAAGH. You know what? The WAAAGH is useful to you, but you take so long to move like this that I'm just going to delete it. Unfortunate as it may be. I wish it wasn't such a huge detriment to your movement, but oh well. Go here, follow Gorkill, you got Empire faction to destroy. Maybe we can peel one of you away to fight the Wargrove of Woe. And then the other to destroy the Empire, because there's not that much of the Empire left. They've been in flames for a while now. Last thing we want to do here. Quick deal. Fed? No, doesn't look like it. But I do want to check the other stuff out. Fecundites do want an alliance. I'm not sure that we want an alliance with them, though, so we will hold off on that. Let us then... Alright, which would be a better fight? I think this would be a better fight. There's 4 stags here. Well, more like 3.5, but... yeah, plus it's the Goblin army, which hasn't been able to fight something of this caliber yet. It means it's going to be very dangerous for them, which means it should be a pretty fun fight. You, sir. What do you want? Dynasty Skulker? Yeah, let's get you Dynasty Skulker, why not? Is that actually... Nah, I was wondering if it was actually better than Stunty Scrap, but, well, whatever. Alright, you are going to be the one attacking, and then you, Mr. Vicious, are going to stand right outside. Like so. Alright, feels slightly bad to attack these guys because they probably would have been an ally. Maybe I should have just left them to be an ally. Too late now. It's gonna take too long to gather. Oh, wow, you're in the way enough that we can't... Okay, wait a moment. Can you do it now? No! Your was too in the way, eh? Okay, fine. You're gonna have to use a regular stance. Unbelievable. You're going to run? Real? Okay, I was not expecting that at all. Huh. Should have attacked the main settlement then. Well, that's a shame, but that doesn't really help you. I can't believe they're running from the gobos. Now this feels not worth fighting. I mean, it's just garbage left. Okay, well, that's disappointing. I guess they're afraid of the 2 WAAAGHs we have. Alright, well, we'll auto-resolve this one then, and then we'll fight another. We have lots of battles to pick today. Yeah, the auto-resolve hurt the WAAAGHs, but otherwise we're fine. And we'll occupy it. I don't want these guys to keep the iron anyway. Oh, I just realized another problem. They're just gonna attack Salignac La Rouge because we won't be able to reach it. Yeah, I really didn't expect him to run from a goblin army, you know. I do wonder, Vicious, if we delete your WAAAGH, would you be able to reach him? You might, but you wouldn't be able to fight him like Spite would because your army is kind of garbage and it got badly hurt. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna have to let Salignac here go. And just go after it after these guys. Okay, well, it happens. It was bound to happen. Instead, then, we will fight Grom versus Kamler here. Should be a fun enough fight, especially as we won't have the reinforcements in. Pyrrhic victory. That's what I like to see. Away we go.
A plan?
Alrighty, here we go. Liable to be Heinrich Kemmler's last stand, and Grom will be the one to bring him down, assuming, of course, that we do win the fight. And Grom held directly towards the enemy line of Graveguard, but actually wants to move through them to get to the enemy vampire. No problem moving through them at that, though it looks like some enemy Black Knights will attempt to chase him down. Alright, get away from him. They're going to have a difficult time with him. But I do wonder how effective he'll be at bringing the vampire down. The fact that the vampire is on foot is actually potentially going to be something that works against Grom, because we've already managed to knock the vampire off its feet a couple of times, and if Grom keeps doing that, then it won't take as much damage. Over on the flanks, for some reason, the enemy has decided to send some fellbats against a few of our pump wagons, which are obviously going to rip the relatively fragile bats apart, although that did work to keep the pump wagons, or at least these pump wagons, in place and allow those Black Knights to charge in. Though the enemy probably would have done more if those were knights with lances and barding, rather than knights with the shield. And a Ragnarok and some gobos come in to help it out, while the other 2 Arachnaroks and the other forest goblins hold ground. I think it was the right move to keep the forest goblins in this particular army. Very nice, and they're doing surprisingly decent against the enemy Graveguard here. Well done, well done. Speaking of doing surprisingly decently, the other pump wagons, the spiky rollers on this side, have found a unit of enemy Black Knights with the lances and barding, though fortunately our pump wagons are very, very tanky. And it looks like they're having absolutely no issue dealing with the knights. In theory, any kind of chariot or war machine should have a very bad time in dealing against cavalry, but these pump wagons are not, well, not subject to it apparently, taking no damage and destroying those Black Knights. Soon they'll be able to return to the fray, and not a moment too soon, as Heinrich Kemmler's reinforcements are now on the field in a pretty big blob out here, while Kemmler and the Krell summon, no, it's not Krell, that's the vampire, Krell summon right there, have moved in. 120 melee attack and 1,000 weapon strength when he has all those buffs up and running. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. We have, however, seen Krell and Kemmler get killed by Grom and his Arachnaroks before, so I would imagine it's not going to be that much different. Krell ain't bringing down a big Spidey. And it looked like he just knocked away one of his own Graveguard there. Alrighty, and while the Arachnaroks and the Gobos are fighting, let's move our pump wagons and chariots out to stall the enemy reinforcements. They can annoy them quite a bit, and the enemy won't be able to do too much about it. I have also noticed that the chariots, the Gobo chariots, seem to be doing pretty okay in terms of picking up speed. As long as we clip an enemy army, we should be able to move them through. At least the zombies and the skeletons, and not get too stuck. Not nearly as good as the pump wagons, mind you, who just don't care about any of these units at all. And they just don't stop. And these aren't even the spiky rollers, these are just the flappas, which are much more fragile and less damage dealing, but not to worry, here come the spiky rollers to join the fray as well. And the spiky rollers are so tanky at this point that they're sort of a set and forget kind of unit. We're free to just leave them there and annoy all these units and prevent them from joining the fray, where Grom is currently fighting. The chariots, the wolf chariots and the flappas can however leave, allowing the spiky rollers to keep the rest of the army in place, while the chariots and the fragile pump wagons do their cycle charges. I think that's a decent way to do it, at the very least while there's nothing in this army that's really a threat to the pile of pump wagons. Alright, wheeling all the way around there. This really reminds me of the Bretonia campaign, slash the Lewin campaign. Both because the pump wagons tend to get a lot of air on the infantry units, with those little mini charge animations, and the fact that we like to wheel around in the relatively open areas. Now, how are we doing back here? Krell is fighting in here somewhere, and it looks like Grom has taken up his axe to fight Krell. There is an enemy zombie dragon here, but it looks like the house pet will be bringing it down in short order. Arachnaroks are doing pretty good, as they like to do, and another Arachnarok chasing Kemmler around, who's down to about 10% HP. These things really do work quite well as line anchors and do pretty much everything well. One of those jack of all trades units, but like, what's a jack of all trades units that's actually good at everything, not master of none? Because you can't really complain about the Arachnaroks. Anyway. And I suppose the pump wagons, especially under Grom, are pretty up there as well. Obviously, they're not going to survive against like specialist cavalry, like halberd-wielding demi-griffs, at least not a couple of units of them. But that's without Grom or something leading him. And even then, we saw what they did to the Black Knights, and they took no damage whatsoever. If a sufficient number of them surrounds a unit of cavalry, elite or not, they'll still rip it apart. Just like they're doing to this entire army. I wonder if we can stack their defenses even more somehow to get them even tankier. 102 armor and, what was it, 35% physical resistance? 30% physical resistance. I think we can get another 5% in there. And possibly a few other buffs. And maybe there's a few tech things that we're still missing from the bigger thinking, which will make them even more powerful. Not that we really need them. Granted, if the enemy armies were to be building a lot more like monstrous entities and single entities, the pump wagons would have a lot more trouble with them. But the AI doesn't really tend to do that all that much, so since most enemy armies will still be composed of infantry, missile, or melee, the pump wagons will still be able to leverage their overpowered nature and destroy them, regardless of their relatively low tier. Anyway, looks like the enemy army is pretty much done for. All the enemy zombies and skeletons and Graveguard are crumbling away. And it's just a matter of grinding them down. Pretty lovely fight, though. I know I have a bias against, or for the vampire counts, because they're my favorite faction, but they're just so fun to play and so fun to fight. I love watching the piles of zombies, whether they're on my own side or on the enemies. Alright, some nice animations from those Arachnaroks. Who haven't we fought in this campaign in terms of factions? We fought elves, we fought dark elves. We fought Wood Elves. We fought all the elves. We haven't fought Lizardmen, have we? We fought one Cathians, a little bit of Tomb... Wait, did we fight Tomb Kings in the early game? Or was that the Aranessa campaign? I'm just wondering where to send a few armies to fight who we have not yet fought. But anyway, I digress. That'll be for later. For now, we'll enjoy the remains of Kemmler's faction. Let's see how we did and how much damage we took. Alright, well, if nothing else, I am impressed by one thing. The Forest Goblins, 42k damage and 300 kills, and 29k damage and 300 kills. They did not out-damage the various pump wagons in terms of their damage dealt, but they did keep up. And not only did they keep up, but they survived. I mean, they're just little tiny Gabo units. Now it looks like Dazuma's kept up as well, for 26k damage on them. Not too bad for Goblin Wolf Chariots. And competing with the pump wagons in terms of damage for most things is going to be difficult. Now it looks like the most damage, however, was by the Australian house pet. Seems appropriate, which is almost surprising considering it's the only one of the Arachnoids that doesn't currently have a banner. Though if we can find like a banner of Eternal Flame or something, I would give that to it. Anyway, a nice little battle. The army of Kemmler will survive, will it not? Or will it? Find out. Yeah, it's going to move away, which means we're going to have to send a Knobber after it. There's that spell resistance trait. And WAAAGH target occupy... Oh, I completely forgot about that. Well, good. Well, good. I take it we can't get salt? Yeah, orcs don't care about salt. Can't they salt to, I don't know, preserve their trophies or something? Let's go for Give It Ear Knobber. This is completely wasteful of a... Oh! You can't even reach this guy. Well, it means you're not going there, then. Grom, you're going to leave the settlement. You're going to go into a raiding stance. We are not going to collect income here, which I guess we're not already. We are going to immediately level up Helspire. Castle Drakenfels should be able to defend itself, I think. Well, let's hope. While you go to Grunair, and then we'll keep moving you through the territories of Kemmler, who should be just about dead, and then down through these mountains. Grab all these last territories that we were inclined to actually hold. We can immediately upgrade Castle Paravent here as well, and... well, there's other stuff to build, but I'll figure that one out, I think, between the episodes. Now, do we have time for one more quick battle? Only if we're very, very quick. We do have buildings to build it, I think, and you guys would prefer to see another fight, so another fight it shall be. Oglock the Horrible Borrible, I mean. Riders for you. Black Orc Big Boss 1, you can get back here. Get that bonus leadership and melee attack in an area, and then lastly, Giblet Face Smasher. You love names. And then there's Jenkins, and then there's Dwayne. Ed Butt is fantastic, so you're gonna get Ed Butt, and you might as well get a point in Brain Burst as well, since you have plenty of mana to use. Away we go. Alright, well he said alright before I did, but hey, at least one of our orc war bosses said something. And he looks pretty happy as well, so let's see what the Borrible here can do. And we are going to wait for our reinforcements this time around, so I am going to speed this up a little bit. And the idea, of course, is to send our WAAAGH units in to act as the meat shields for the rest of the army. This way we'll be able to keep keep everybody here nice and relatively healthy, and thus still ready to fight off Lokir if needed. I also don't want the Hydra Breath or the Black Dragon Breath hitting any of our Boar Boys or our various biggins, and thus another reason to send in those reinforcements. Looks like the enemy has a Death Hag leading with a Sorceress of Dark, which we'll try to hunt down with our Lord and Hero, and then everybody else will just try to charge the main line while the Boars do their damage to the enemy range. Anyway, here we go. The WAAAGH is in, and they're about to start taking hits from the enemy Dark Shards. But of course we don't care what happens to the WAAAGH units, and I see a chill wind coming down on one of our units, though for whatever reason the AI has a tendency to use chill wind and similar spells, sort of parallel to the unit, or actually perpendicular to the unit rather than parallel to the unit, which means that said unit barely takes any damage whatsoever, which is unfortunate because it's a very nice spammable spell that you can use so many times. Like Lash of Slaanesh, and ooh, over here we have some Blackguard of Nagaron facing off against some poor Gobos. The Goblins will of course kill not a single one of these, but they're just here to keep the Blackguard in place while our Biggins move in. There's the main stack moving in. I do love watching a massive disparity between units, though. The hyper-elite melee just absolutely slaughtering their way through a weaker unit like this. It's always quite entertaining. Though it won't be entertaining for the Blackguard too much longer. Savage Orc Boys and regular Orc Boys, or Biggins of both types, are now moving in. We have also moved in to try to go after that Sorceress of Dark, though it looks like our Lord and Hero are a little bit distracted by enemy Bleak Swords and Black Orc Corsairs. Here come the Biggins. No, actually, those are just regular Orc Boys, but the Biggins are on the way, not to worry. Alright, and over in the background, speaking of Biggins, we got the Boar Boy Biggins coming out of the trees. They've looped around the entire enemy army and are going after those Dark Shards and Black Orc Corsairs. The enemy is also moved in with a Black Dragon to try to bail out its Sorceress and its Death Hag, but I'm not sure that it'll be quite enough. Oh, you gotta love that Black Dragon attack animation. We're also focusing the Black Dragon down with all of our WAAAGH's arrows, so that'll help it go down a little bit quicker. Even while our Lord and Hero take chops at it. And Black Orc Corsairs have been caught by the Boar Boys, and the Boar Boys are pretty darn heavily armored at 85, though it'll get even better as we upgrade them. We can get them to 100 armor with the scrap armor, or whatever it's called. The little scrap upgrade, so that'll be nice. Now the Blackguard are fighting something a little bit more on par with them, as the Boar Boys hit them in the back, and the Savage Orcs and regular Biggins absolutely overwhelm them. And the first of the Blackguard unit is basically done, and the second one is routing as well, just as the Murderous Prowess activates. Out here we had 3 units of the various Boar Boys smash into the enemy Cold One Dread Knights, though of course 2 units of them are the anti-large variety. I wanted to send them at the Hydra, but the Cold One Dread Knights were in the way, and hey, that works out quite nicely as well, as it looks like we have cavalry superiority. But it also looks like we have pretty much everything's superiority, as this will be a quick battle. The Hydra will rout just like the rest of the army, and the battle will be ours. Probably could have auto-resolved it, but I guess it was safer to do it this way, and I'm still not tired of seeing the pigs fight, so I want to see a few more nice fights for this army. Alright, very nice, and that worked out well. We were able to preserve, by and large, the main stack of Oglock there, and still did plenty of damage with those units, while the WAAAGH served their purpose of acting as meat shields, which allows us to survive if Lokir was to hit us, especially if there's a secret or hidden other army nearby. Damn. It's really tempting, but we don't need the money right now, so occupy. 56k. Besides, we know these Norscan territories will keep, but up here is Chaotic Wasteland, which we can just raise. And if Scarbrand wants to occupy it, well, that's Scarbrand's business. Anyway, with that, and there is another little army here, or is that a fleet? Looks like an army.
Do not order me.
Well, as I said, with that, we are unfortunately out of time, and I'm going to have to call the episode here. Next time, we continue moving through the territories of the Blessed Dread. We will probably destroy the Barrow Legion for good. We will continue our war in Athaloran, as well as probably move southward, or begin moving southward, and beginning the war against the Ramateb dynasty and the Pirates of Sartosa, though the latter only to raise, and just for the fun of it. And Grimgor just needs to get the heck out of the out of Athaloran so he can go and hunt down Archaon for the campaign goal, as it'll take him quite the while, I'm sure, to get the way there, but hopefully he can destroy on the way. Anyway, stay tuned for more Grimgor. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.